Having my jaw wired shut lost me more than just my summer vacation.
Oh, this is like every great high school movie ever made.
Now, I could be the former fatty who turned into a brain. Or an athlete. Or a princess. No, I'd rather have revenge.
Guys, bullied high schooler Patty is out for revenge on everyone that did her wrong in the new Netflix dark comedy, Insatiable.
And we are live with one of the show stars, Alyssa Milano. Thanks for joining us.
Sure, of course.
It's
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're excited to talk about this. Let's start with this. The show stirred up some controversy. You've been talking about it. This is a known thing. People have accused it of fat shaming, taking a toxic view on body image. There's a petition out there about it. What do you make about this? Do you understand where the criticism's coming from?
I do, for sure, and you never want to take someone's emotions away from them. Obviously, it invoked emotion, and I think that we all feel that this show is so much more than what the trailer was, and I personally felt it very interesting that the show is about don't judge a book by its cover, and yet people were judging 12 hours of television by
It's trailer.
a 1 minute and 28-second trailer. But, obviously, being the person that I am, I never want to hurt anyone. So I wouldn't be involved with something that I felt was hurtful to people.
Yeah.
And it's more about what happens when you do shame someone and how that trauma affects their lives. And it's a comedy, and it's satirical. And I think that that's the most important thing.
Yeah, and you play the wife of a lawyer turned pageant coach. You kind of becomes a mentor for Patty. And you've said you won't apologize for it. You believe in the message. Are you disappointed when you get this kind of backlash? Or in a way, are you happy that it gets people talking about the project?
I think I'm happy when it gets people talking about the issue.
Right, yeah.
And I think that is the most important thing to me, because I think we live in a world where shaming is part of our everyday culture, whether we're fat shaming or slut shaming or mom shaming, or, I didn't post a picture of my daughter on Instagram the other day because she had a pacifier in her mouth, and I just didn't want to deal with the mom,
so quick.
the mom shaming.
Right.
So, and I think also when you think about entertainment and when you think about TV, everyone brings their own emotion with it when they watch it, right? Like, you're gonna take away something totally different than you, and that's the same thing with any art, songs, anything. But in its best, I think entertainment should be a conversation instigator. And obviously, the show already is a conversation.
Yeah, it certainly
and
has
I think
already
it will continue
happened.
to do that. And in my view, it's so much better to have these discussions out loud than to sweep them under the rug.
And hopefully people will watch and then be able to get the full picture of what's being said and what the show's saying. We were all, of course, introduced to you when you were a teen. Who's the Boss, right? Like, it's so long ago that you were actually on that show from 11 to 19, critical years. You really grew up in the public eye in that way. What about this particular project resonated with you in terms of dealing with self-esteem and body image and all those types of things?
I mean, I think that there is a theme for every single person to be able to relate to on this show. We deal with, and they're hurtful themes. They're not easy themes to deal with. We have body image. We have what it means to win. And to what extent will you go to win? How our appearances really affect our interactions on a daily basis. Family issues, mother-daughter issues, alcoholism. We deal with a lot of really deep things. So I could imagine myself being a part of something that was able to mean something to someone. And it's been such an honor at this point in my career to be able to play this character.
Did you have pieces of advice for any of your younger co-stars that, you've been there and know what it's like to be in the public eye and grow up?
I've never wanted to give advice.
No? Okay.
Really? Because I would believe anything you said. Like, tell me.
No. I feel like everyone's on their own path and their own journey, so they need to go through it. And I look at Debbie and I see, obviously some parallels to the beginning of her career and how I started, but I would never interject my First of all, she's way cooler than I ever was at that age. That's A. And two, it's just, this is her journey, this is her point. And part of me is so protective of her because I see so much of what what I went through at that age, and when I was transitioning from a child actor to sort of being taken seriously as an adult actor. And I really think that this is the project that's going to be that bridge for her.
Yeah.
She's so absolutely wonderful in it. So.
You've been so involved this past year, launching the Me Too movement, supporting Time's Up. Obviously, your efforts are completely appreciated and kind of starting that conversation. How does Insatiable kind of continue that conversation? Because there's a lot of strong women in the project.
It's so much, the show itself is so much about empowering and empowering women and finding your own truth, but also our amazing writer, showrunner, creator, Lauren Gussis, who's standing in the corner right now, is really just so much about giving us the strength and security to be the best that we can be. And I think so often when you think of women, you think, oh, we're all in competition with each other. And through Lauren, the ability to be my best came through, but also through Coralie, through this character, because she's so coming to her own truth throughout the show. And these are all really hard things to portray as an actress, that I had to dive deep into the hard stuff. And just to feel that sort of empowerment enabled me to feel confident enough to even send the Me Too tweet, which we were shooting while I sent that tweet.
Oh, you're shooting the show?
That was around the same time. Wow.
Yeah, and we were all commiserating. It was that Harvey Weinstein week, and all of the actresses were talking about how there was no one that they had known that hadn't gone through some sort of either sexual harassment or abuse or assault. And I thought it was such a sisterhood moment, but also so heartbreaking to hear that. And that's what sort of I came up with the idea for that tweet through that
whole experience.
Camaraderie.
Yeah. Let me ask you about this. You have a young son and daughter that they've joined you at marches and rallies and things that are near and dear to your heart. How do you go about talking to them about important issues that you care about, like body image and feminism and bullying and things like that?
Well, I'm in a very lucky position because I have a girl and a boy. So I'm able to teach these lessons to them both on a daily basis. First of all, I'm a big believer in telling them the truth, first of all, and not hiding anything from them. And I do feel that we are in such a time right now that there's so much chaos and turmoil, it's very hard to shelter them from that. So we have very deep conversations about what's happening. But also body image. I feel like girls in sports, my daughter plays baseball. She's the only little girl on her little trotters team. She's 3, and it's all about let me see your muscles. How strong are you? You got to be strong to hit that ball, and really instilling that the body is we eat for fuel, and the body is to be strong.
I love that.
Crazy how different it was. And
I know.
It's like
so
I'm
different.
so happy that it's getting to a point where we want to be strong for those reasons.
Yeah, and then also just being able to teach those lessons. Like my son is reading now, and my daughter doesn't read, but my daughter gets to pick books every other night. And my son keeps saying to me, I don't understand, why does she get to pick? She doesn't read, Mom. Why does she get to pick the books? And I say to him, because what she wants and what she feels matters in life and in this house, and she has to have her voice. Even though she's the baby, she's got to find her voice and her strength and what she loves and what she likes. So we have to respect that.
It's so important for you to frame it.
So for us to frame it, and also to be able to teach them those dynamics of because it is tricky. And you don't want to raise your little girl to be too hard, and you don't want to raise your little boy to be too. It's a very fine balance of empowerment, and allowing them to be their true selves.
Respecting each other, respecting other opinions and things like that. Look, before you go, you've been very outspoken about a lot of your political stances and things of that nature. When people in Hollywood do this and speak out publicly, there's obviously a lot of backlash, no matter what you say, right? Either way. Have you felt the sting of that in terms of your career? I mean, there have been other people who have, speak out publicly about politics and then they could maybe point to some other, career move going a certain way. I
mean, I just really believe that if my integrity stays intact and I stay true to who I am and what I believe in, which is equality and that every child deserves a healthy childhood, a healthy, happy childhood, I have to stay true to that. And if it means I'm not going to work in this industry, then I'm not going to work in this industry. But at least I can go to bed knowing that I fought the good fight. And also I've been an activist since I was 15 years
Right.
old. So
It's
for
not a
me,
new issue for you.
Yeah.
for me, I don't know any other way to function. Like I can't not be vocal about issues. So that would be disingenuous. So I have to be, organic to myself. And right now, there's a lot to fight for.
Yeah.
So,
So great to hear
And
from all
thank
that.
you also for using your platform and voice to bring up those issues and
kind.
everything.
Thank you very much. I hope you don't get trolls now.
Yeah. You guys check out Insatiable. The series drops on Netflix this Friday, August 10th.